Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So, today I want to do a draw preview of the 2023 Wimbledon. My name is Anthony Hirsch and welcome to the tennis commentary booth. So, I wanted to come back. Do a little bit of a Wimbledon preview. If you've been wondering where I've been commentating for Quality Shot Tennis, which has been an amazing opportunity, a really great gig. It's been awesome. I really recommend you check out not just my streams, but the streams that they do over there in general. It's a great channel, but definitely check out the streams I've done over there. I'm doing more for Wimbledon. I did, for example, the semifinal of Roland Garros. Who was it? Zverev versus Ruud, which was crazy. I did Rune as well. I did the final of Queens. I've done a lot of great matches over there, so definitely check it out. I hope to be doing way more. That's a great opportunity. But I also want to post more on this channel. I have a lot of ideas. I just haven't had much time recently. But yeah, here's me posting back on this channel. Wimbledon draw preview. Stick around. So, I mean, yeah, Djokovic is the overwhelming favorite. I'll be doing the men's draw. I don't know if I'll be doing women's as well. But here's the men's event. And listen, Djokovic is the overwhelming favorite. We also got guys like Sinner. We got Alcaraz. I mean, Struff pulled out. Kyrgios pulled out earlier today. He's no longer in the draw. I mean, I don't know. Who can beat Djokovic? Fritz, Alcaraz, Medvedev, Tsitsipas, Zverev don't really know how to play on grass that well. Are we even fully confident in Alcaraz? So, you know, it's hard to say. And also, Djokovic's draw just looks fantastic. We'll get to that. But anyway, what I'm going to do in this video is go match by match, kind of break down the tournament, break down each match. And listen, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy to be back commentating for tennis, doing the commentary. So let's get into it. So how I'm going to break this down is I'm going to kind of go through like every single eighth of the section for every single top 8 seed. So we'll go through Alcaraz's section, then Rune's, then Medvedev's, etc., etc. And I'll give my prediction for who's coming out of every single section, and then we'll go to the quarters, then the semis, then the final. And I'll tell you who I think is going to be the champ. But let's get into it. I think this is going to be a fun draw preview. So, first we got Alcaraz versus Chardy. And Chardy said that he thinks this might be his retirement match. So, that'd be pretty crazy, but I'm taking Alcaraz. I don't think Chardy's got much, especially at this point, at his age. Then we got Mueller versus Rinderknecht. I like Mueller a lot. He just won a challenger tournament. It might have been on clay, I think, but he just won a challenger. But listen, Rinderknecht has been playing really well. On the grass courts, I like Rinderknecht. He almost beat Alcaraz. I like Rinderknecht to get through that one. Rinderknecht beats Mueller, but Mueller's talented. He's a little bit underrated. Maybe not quite effective enough, but listen. He has the talent. He's a fun watch, and he's dangerous against most guys. So just the top guys a little bit too, I don't know, too effective, too precise for him, but still talented. But Jason Kubler versus Hugo Humbert, that's a good one. This is a good matchup. Both these guys kind of underrated, kind of grass quarters. But listen, I'm gonna go with Humbert. I think Humbert is a very talented young Frenchman. I always like how he plays at Wimbledon, so I'm going to go with Humbert in a big match like this. 3 out of 5. Then we got Cecchinato versus Jarry. I'm taking Jarry. I think he'll be better on the grass courts. Big serve, big game. Been playing very well all season. High on Jarry this year. He's been playing crazy. He's been playing mainline on all surfaces. Then we got Zverev versus Brower, qualifier. I'll go Zverev. Husler versus Watanuki. Listen, I like Watanuki, and I think he's dangerous. I'm glad he got a lucky loser after losing a tight one in qualifying. I got Watanuki pulling through. He's got the game for grass courts. Huge returns, very aggressive all-court game. I like Watanuki. Talented guy. If you saw him versus Tiafoe in Miami, that was the definition of an in-the-zone performance. Definition of in the zone there. And I think he lost it, right? I think he lost it, then Tiafoe lost to Sonego. Crazy match by Watanuki anyway. Berrettini versus Sonego. I got Sonego. Sorry, Berrettini. I know you made the final 2 years ago, but you're not in form, and Sonego has been playing really well, and he's Sonego can just turn on. He's been doing well on grass too. Then we got Copayans versus De Minaur. I got De Minaur. I like him on grass. He played well also in Queens, even in the final there. Just maybe not clutch enough, but still. Tiafoe versus Yibing Wu. Listen, Tiafoe Yibing Wu is like, that's the match. And it's a sneaky one. This ain't Djokovic, this ain't Alcaraz, but listen. Yibing Wu, I was more excited than anybody else to see how Yibing Wu would look like on the grass courts. And listen, he's a talented guy. He was ranked number 1,121, so I don't know, number 1 million. He climbed up. Now he's like 58th in the world, career high. Won Dallas earlier this year on the indoor hard courts. Takes balls on the rise. Gets power out of absolutely nowhere. Ridiculous power. Super skilled player. I love him on grass. And versus Tiafoe, that's a good one. But listen, Tiafoe. Am I going with an upset over Tiafoe the way Tiafoe's been playing? I got to check some. And some people are going to not like the fact that I'm even considering this could be an upset. But I'm going to look at what Tiafoe's results at Wimbledon have been, because I feel like that will be important here. Okay, 4th round last year. Let me see what that was all about. But listen, Yibing Wu, he's tough. He's tough. Okay, Tiafoe played a 4-setter against Bublik, lost to Goffin. Okay, I'm just gonna check 2021 as well. I want to make this a good trot. I want to get my predictions spot on, as you might say. I want to get it close. Let me see. Where's Tiafoe in the draw? Look for Tiafoe. Okay, here you go. Lost to Hotchnoff. Okay, beat Pospisil, beat Tsitsipas. I remember that one. Okay, so I'm not going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the gut feeling. Gut feeling says Tiafoe, but I have my eye on that one for real. That was, honestly, after all the first round matches, that was the one that I was most excited about. I'm definitely going to tune in to that one. Then we got Swiss Dominic Stricker playing his first slam versus Alexei Papirin. And Dominic Stricker, I really like Dominic Stricker. Played great Next Gen Finals tournament last year. I've liked, whenever I watched him, he's looked pretty good. Obviously, a lot to improve. He's a bit up and down, but, and I haven't seen enough of him, to be honest. But I like what I've seen from him. I like his game. But, yeah, I like his game, but I'm going to go with Papirin. It's Dominic Stricker's first slam event, and I like how Papirin's looked this year. He was amazing versus Fritz in the Australian Open. Beat Fritz in the second round. Ivashka versus Coria. Got Ivashka. First time I'm ever seeing this name, which is not to sound weird, but it's a bit rare for me in a Grand Slam. Shima Bukaro versus Dimitrov. Okay, I got Dimitrov. No offense, Shima Bukaro. And I know I butchered that name, but I've never seen it before. Then we've got Artur Fils versus Davidovich Fokina. To be honest, I'm not quite clear on why Fils is a wildcard. I thought he was ranked inside the top 65 in the world or whatever, but that's fair enough. This is, I believe, his first time playing Wimbledon, so that could be part of why as well. But Fokina versus Fils. Man, Fokina versus Fils. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna say Fils. I'm taking Fils first. Fokina. Fokina lost first round last year too. I like Artur Fils. I think Artur Fils likes to play the big matches. He seems fearless to me. I'll take Fils. I'll take Fils over Fokina. Screw it. I'll take an upset. I like Fils a lot. And Fokina on grass, it's not his best surface. Okay, and then Zhang versus Botic Van de Zandschulp, comfortably taking Zhang. Zhizhen Zhang there. He had an amazing match versus Fritz in Madrid. He's been playing great. I think his game should do well on grass. Don't see why not. So, yeah, why not? I'll take Fils versus Zhang. Why not? Mario Arnaldi versus Cabez Baena. That's an opportunity. Arnaldi qualified in. Who'd Arnaldi get in qualifying? Who'd he get in qualifying? Young Italian talented player Matteo Arnaldi. Namesake of Berrettini, of course, who I, with no mercy, didn't pick him to get out of the first round. Who'd Arnaldi beat in qualifying? Let's take a look. Okay, yeah, he beat Zhenzhen Shang, very talented, or Shang, very talented Chinese player. Yeah, I'm butchering a lot of these names. Apologies for that. Got to learn more better some of these pronunciations. But I'll take Arnaldi. For a win. I think that would be his first Grand Slam main draw win. And then Rune versus Lafagan. I'll take Rune. I'll take Rune over the Brit. Then we got Medvedev versus Ferry, a wild card in. I got Medvedev. Okay, let's speed this up a little bit, make it interesting. Make it a little bit interesting. Mannarino Shevchenko. Ooh. Okay, Shevchenko's tough. I like Shevchenko, but he is a little bit up and down. He's a bit up and down, and on grass courts, not as comfortable as maybe I would want to be. But, yeah, I'll have to take Mannarino. Even though Mannarino did look a little bit tired and out in the final of Mallorca, he still reached the final of Mallorca. So, and Mannarino's tough on grass. He's tough at Wimbledon. I'll take Mannarino. And Medvedev has his nightmare matchup versus Mannarino in the second round. Medvedev has a bad draw. He really, really does. It's a tough little draw over here. It's going to be interesting who comes out of this section. Giron versus Delian. I'll take Marcos Giron. I like Giron. I don't know why, but I like him. I think he'll do well. Fucsovics versus Griekspoor is awesome. That is a hell of a match. I'm taking Griekspoor in 5 sets. Gut feeling. Griekspoor in 5. We'll see if that gut feeling is correct, but Griekspoor's been playing great on grass courts. Fucsovics is dangerous, but listen, Griekspoor is just so solid. He's been playing solid all year. He knows he's the favorite going in. And yeah, Griekspoor is just talented. He's just talented, and he likes grass courts. He won a grass title earlier in the season. So yeah, I know Fucsovics has been playing great. He's gotten a few upsets already in the grass season, beat Fritz, this, that, but yeah, I got Griekspoor, but I think it'll go 5 sets. It's got 5 sets written all over that, honestly. Cerundolo versus Borges. I got Francisco Cerundolo with the amazing forehand. He's been playing amazing. He's coming off a title too, by the way. Sebastian Offner, who reached 4th round in Roland Garros in France, versus Yuri Lehechka, who beat Zverev in Zverev's first match back, who had an amazing Australian Open, beat like 3 seeds. I don't know. Lehechka's fearless, but yeah, I like Lehechka. He has a strong, powerful game, which is good on grass. He actually says that his favorite surface is clay. And listen, I mean, I guess it makes sense because in Czech Republic, they play a lot on clay, but I don't know, Berdych, Lehechka, I don't know, Stepanek, I don't think their favorite surface is clay, but yeah. Raonic versus Novak. It's the kind of r/tennis subreddit joke. Shout out the tennis subreddit. The meme Dennis Novak tricky. It's not Djokovic. It's not Raonic versus Djokovic. Novak, Dennis Novak versus Milos Raonic. Who do I got? Has Raonic played? I don't think Raonic has played since his first tournament back. Am I wrong? I think he's only played 1. Yeah, he was gonna play Queens, but he pulled out. You know why he pulled out? He drew Jordan Thompson. That's who he lost to in the Netherlands 250. Dennis Novak, I just don't know who did Novak beat in qualifying. Let's take a look. He beat Watanuki, okay, and yeah, screw it. Just by that, I'm going Novak. I think Novak's got over Raonic. I'm rooting for Raonic, but he also, I don't know. Well, if Raonic is good enough to play, that's a tough one. You know, screw it. I might regret this. I'm going back on my guess. I'm saying Raonic. He's a former finalist here. I like Novak beating Watanuki in the last round, but I'm taking Raonic. If he feels he's healthy enough to play, he looked great in his first event back. Paul versus Japanese qualifier here. I don't know quite. Mochizuki. But I got Paul. He looked great in wherever he just played. I don't even... Not even thinking straight right now. Where did he just play? I commentated for that match too over on Quality Shot Tennis. Check that out. That was probably, in my opinion, the best stream I've done yet, even though it was one of the smaller ones. That was an amazing match, and I enjoyed doing that one. But who did he play? It was Paul versus Wolf. It was in Eastbourne, because, yeah, Paul and Fritz both entered Eastbourne. Anyway, so yeah, that would be fun. I hope we see Paul Raonic. I'll be tuning in for that, too. I'll be tuning in for all the Tommy Paul matches. He's one of my favorites on tour. Super athletic and amazing shot maker. His fast style of play is really... It makes it such a fun watch on the grass courts. I love watching him at Wimbledon last year, too. He's figuring out these grass courts for real. Tommy Paul is my underdog going into the grass season. I don't think people understand. He beat Jannik Sinner at Eastbourne right before Wimbledon, beat Francisco Cerundolo. He's not one to play around with. Norrie versus Machak in the next one. Okay. That's interesting. I'd put a very minuscule upset alert there because I really do like Thomas Machak when he's on. And he qualified, so he must have already won 3 matches here, including a best of 5 in the 3rd round. But I'll take Norrie. Even though I don't really have a good feeling about Norrie in this event. Although when do you really have a good feeling about Norrie, to be honest? Then I got Christopher Eubanks versus Montero. Definitely Eubanks, coming off a great title in Mallorca. It's going to be tough to back that up, but still, this has already been an amazing grass court season for Eubanks. I called it. Y'all can check out my tweet on Twitter, at Commentary Booth on Twitter. I'm at Commentary Booth on Twitter. Check it out. I said I didn't have a single doubt about it. I said, mark my words, Christopher Eubanks is going to have an amazing grass court season. Guess what? He did. He did with a serve and volley aggressive play. Got a title. Got an ATP title, and you better believe it, Eubanks. Fearless. Never stop believing he's a talent. O'Connell versus Medvedev. I got O'Connell. I like his game for grass, but I don't really know, to be honest, there. Don't know both players enough. Vesely versus Korda. That's tough for Korda, but I'll take Korda. Although, never know with Vesely. So, Vesely, by the way, protected ranking. I'm very happy for all these protected rankings, I think it should exist, but there are too many. It's taking away entry spots from players that could get into the event. There should be a limit, 4 protected rankings into the event. There's 7, and most of the 7 protected rankings that got in, I think Monfils pulled out, but there were supposed to be 7. Most of these protected rankings, no offense, they're all amazing players, obviously. They all were ranked super high at one point, but they're not people that you expect could pull a very good run at this point. So it just takes away from players that could be in form 95, 96 in the world now, because there are, 16 qualifying spots, 8 wild cards. If there's 7 protected rankings, how many spots does that leave for the people who are ranking in? Just 95 players. So I don't know. I wish they would put a little bit of a limit on the protected rankings. And I'm somebody who always thinks that those are names that draw people in. People used to be at the top. It's great to let them play, and let them try to come back off of injury, obviously. I think that's great, but I don't know. I think it's taking away entry spots from the top players. But obviously, it is great for a lot of them that they can have that opportunity to come back from injury anyway. But that's just my 2 cents. I think that would be something to play around with. Shelton versus Taro Daniel. Lucky loser Taro Daniel. All of Shelton. Shelton's been up and down. I haven't been the highest on Shelton from the start. I think he's a great server, amazing server. I think he's talented, good shot maker, but I don't know. I'm not quite sold on the potential a lot of people are sold on. I don't think the peaks of his game are high enough. I haven't seen the consistency, among other things. So I'm still gauging. He's still young. We'll see. But so far, I'm not quite as high on him as, say, Sebastian Korda or Alcaraz, Rune, Sinner, even Auger-Aliassime. All these players, he's or even Draper. He's 1 or 2 tiers below, maybe a tier below. Cressy versus Gera. I'll take Cressy. I like him on grass. Let's speed this up. Murray versus Peniston, fellow Brit. I'll take Murray. Team versus Tsitsipas. This is the crazy section. Let's speed this up, get out of the first section. I know I've been talking a lot. And also, I lied at the beginning. Also, I realize now. I did not do what I said I'd do and do all the sections, but that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just do the draw as is right now. Let's see. Okay. Team versus Tsitsipas. Or you know what? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. So after this one, I'm just going to, what was it? I think that was the top half that I just did. So for this top half, I think I'm going to go one section at a time and fill out all those matches, and then I'll do what I said at the start. And anyway, you'll see. I'll fill out the draw, but I'm not going to go in order as I have been doing. But that was the bottom half. Let's finish it out with Team versus Tsitsipas and then Andy Murray. But I'll continue filling out this draw. So, okay. Dominic Thiem versus Stefanos Tsitsipas, the Greek. Thiem's not been in great form. Tsitsipas hasn't been in great form. He's probably distracted by the new relationship. It's all jokes. I don't know what's up with Tsitsipas. He hasn't been in great form. Grass is never a strong suit, even though he's mentioned that grass is his favorite to play on. His game looks like it could be good on grass, even though obviously also he's rushed on the backhand, among other problems. Lots of them. But I'll take Tsitsipas, and then yeah, okay, well, I'll fill that out in a second. In a second. Okay, let's go section by section now. Filling it out until I'll tell you who I think is making every single quarterfinal. Okay, out of every eighth of the draw, every little section. So the Alcaraz section. Let's go match by match. Alcaraz versus Rinderknecht. I think that'll be at least 4 sets, but I'm taking Alcaraz. Alcaraz looked great in Queens after that first round against Rinderknecht. He could barely make a first serve against Rinderknecht, but he still looked phenomenal. So, yeah, I don't know. I like Alcaraz too much right now. I think Alcaraz is running off momentum, and Alcaraz, like Medvedev, like Djokovic, they're dangerous when they're running off momentum. They'll just win matches after matches. So I'll take Alcaraz in 4 sets. Humbert versus Jarry, that is a good match. I'm going to look up if they have ever played each other, to be honest. That would be a big thing for me in this one. Let's see. You can see real quick. No, they've never played. Okay. Doesn't help me. But we'll roll with it. Humbert versus Jarry. I mean, Jarry has the big game. Humbert is just talented, solid. He has the corners. He's precise. He has like the all court game. He has all the weapons. Jarry's weapons are probably bigger, but Humbert, he doesn't have many weaknesses. That's tough. It's tough to pick here. You know what? I'm going to look up one more thing. What have Humbert's most recent results been? I know he's been doing well, Hugo Humbert, on the challengers. I don't know about main tour. Why is Hugo Humbert doing well in all the new 175-point challengers? What has he done? Yeah, he lost to Peniston in Queens. I mean, are you kidding me? Rusevori in the Netherlands. Sonego at the French Open. I don't know. I picked him to the second round, but yeah, I'm taking Jarry. Jarry's been playing great. And he's been pretty much only losing top players. Zverev Watanuki. Okay, I'm going to go with something crazy controversial here. I like how Zverev's been playing. He's been coming to net a lot. He made semifinals of Halle, made semifinals of the French Open. This is going to come as a shock to most. I'm taking Watanuki for the upset. Screw it. I'm going to take a big old risk. I'm taking lucky loser for the upset over Zverev. I think Watanuki can rush Zverev. Zverev can get a little bit too... I don't know. He's aggressive. He's an aggressive player. His first serve is great for grass, but I just don't know if in the rallies he can dictate as well as on other surfaces. And yeah, I don't know. He kind of likes rallying until he has a big shot. Not really the first strike tennis of grass. He kind of can be a little bit loopy, especially on the forehand. And it not really hitting through the court. And Watanuki, I feel like if his game is on, Watanuki, it depends on his game is on, but he's been playing great. I like grass courts for him. And I don't love grass for Zverev, even though he came into net a lot at the French Open with success, and I've loved that. But I don't know. Screw it. Gut feeling and just what I think. Watanuki, or what is fun to guess. It's fun to guess. Watanuki versus Zverev. I'm not going to go as crazy as that in all of them, but I'll go with that. Sonego versus de Minaur. I'll take de Minaur. I think de Minaur's got it. Although Sonego's dangerous. Sonego once in a blue moon can just have like the most like incredible victory, honestly. Like I remember one year, I think in Vienna, one of those indoor events at the end of the season, he just beat Djokovic in straight sets. But stay with me here. We'll go more through the draw, every single matchup. Yeah, de Minaur's 3-0 against Sonego. He beat him on grass last year. Yeah. I'm taking de Minaur. For sure, de Minaur. Okay, and then let's fill this out more. Okay, we got 2 more matchups here in the top section to see who will make the quarterfinals. Alcaraz versus Jarry. I think that could be tough. No, Alcaraz has a tough draw too. He has some dangerous players in his route. But I'll take Alcaraz. Jarry troubled him. He was a 7-5 against Alcaraz, and then Alcaraz just blitzed him and picked it up in the third set. We'll see. Jarry could be the one more solid on serve, but I feel like Alcaraz, if it's the ground game where he had the timing, the movement down, didn't feel as rushed, was able to dictate better, hit very aggressive forehands. I feel like in the rallies, he should absolutely have it against Jari. So, even though Jari has a good forehand, even forehand to forehand, all of that, I feel like Alcaraz should have it. And Alcaraz is playing a very top tier of play. But it depends on Alcaraz. If he plays a Rinderknecht match, then Jari could get in. But also, Alcaraz is tough. And I think Alcaraz is going to be one of these guys who's going to be very tough to beat in a best of 5. So, we'll see. We'll see. Wozniacki versus de Minaur. I gotta go de Minaur. I feel confident de Minaur gets through that section. Zverev could pick up if he's doing really well at net. He could do something against de Minaur, but I'll take de Minaur. And then Alcaraz de Minaur, just a rematch of Queens. And Queens final was fantastic, by the way. One of my favorite shot-making finals I've seen all year. No real shot of the year contender in that match, but there were like 100 great rallies, just high-level stuff. Really high-level final, but Alcaraz was more clutch than de Minaur, and de Minaur doesn't do great at majors. So I'm taking Alcaraz for the quarterfinals. All right, let's pick this up. I'm going to pick up speed a little bit for sure. But I'm enjoying this. Don't forget to like and sub too. Tense commentary booth with Anthony Hirsch. I'll do more videos too. I got a video, like an essay video that I wrote out about Del Potro and why he could have been an even much better player had his career gone a different way. I got other videos coming. Just subscribe and check out also the stuff I do on Quality Shot. But let's continue with this too. But yeah, don't forget to like and sub, guys. Tiafoe versus Papirin. It just sounded like such a YouTuber. Don't forget to like and sub, guys, to the YouTube channel. But no. Tiafoe versus Papirin. Tiafoe versus Papirin. That's a fun one, but I've got to go Tiafoe. I got a good feeling about Tiafoe at Wimbledon. He keeps getting guys who I'm high on right now. Yibing Wu and Papirin on grass, but yeah, I'm going to Tiafoe. Nobody too scary though. Ivashka. Okay, speed this up. Ivashka versus Dimitrov. Dimitrov. I'm going to go Dimitrov. He played really well early rounds until he played Alcaraz and Queens. He's honestly played well all season until he's run to a top guy. He's played a lot of top opposition this season. Just can't play quite clutch enough in those matches, but he's played well this year. I'm going to go Dimitrov. And then we got Feast versus Zhang. Screw it. I'll go Feast. I'll go Feast. I'll go Feast. Why not? Why not, you know? Rune versus Arnaldi. I'll go Rune. I like how Rune's looked on grass. He just looked tired in his last match that he lost. Who did he lose to? I forget. Who did Holger lose to? In, where was it? At Queens. I would have wanted a Rune Alcaraz final there. Oh, yeah. Semifinals versus de Minaur. De Minaur played well in that event, too. Yeah, I'll take Rune. And then in this section, Tiafoe Dimitrov. I'll take Tiafoe. Like I said, Dimitrov struggled against top guys, and Tiafoe just looks absolutely amazing right now, to be honest with you. Feast versus Rune. I'll take Rune. And then Rune versus Tiafoe. What's their record? Rune versus Tiafoe. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of either of these guys. I think they're both amazing talents, though. Ooh, they've never played before. That's always fun. Always fun. They both know how to rile up a crowd, sometimes in different ways, but... But listen, Tiafoe, I think he's super underrated in his competitive spirit. He brings in fans to the sport, which is awesome. Great shot maker, just hits crazy shots out of nowhere, you know. Super fast too, by the way. Great, one of the best at running up to drop shots. And I don't know, just sneaky with a game that doesn't always look absolutely amazing, but he's just sneaky. Has a sneakily high peak, sneaky high peak, and then Rune obviously we know how good Rune is, and he has a good mentality too. I'm high on Rune's mentality, but Rune versus Tiafoe, I don't know. Enough complimenting everybody, but Rune versus Tiafoe, who I got? Both great players. Let's see. That's a tough one. Rune versus Tiafoe is interesting. That is interesting. Screw it, I'll go Tiafoe. Tiafoe's played well, and if he can get through Dimitrov, if he can get through Yibing Wu, if he can get through potentially Papirin, then I say he could take on Rune. What would this be already? 3rd round? Or 4th round? Yeah, I'll take Tiafoe to the quarters. I'll push Tiafoe to the quarterfinals. Gut feeling. I'll take Tiafoe to the quarterfinals. Medvedev versus Mannarino. I'm gonna go Mannarino. I hope I'm wrong. Medvedev is super good in Grand Slams, so I hope I'm wrong on that one. But Mannarino also plays great at Wimbledon, and he just reached a final too. Not only did he just beat Medvedev, he also reached a final. He seems to always play great against Medvedev. I think he has a winning, I'm almost positive he has a winning head-to-head. So I'll take Mannarino. I don't think that's a great match for Medvedev. And I think Medvedev is going to tear it up at the end of the season. I'm not sure so far. And by the way, I got Griekspoor over Rune. And even if Mannarino doesn't beat Medvedev, I got Griekspoor taking him out. But I'll take Griekspoor over Mannarino. I'll take Griekspoor. I like how he's played. I don't think I'll push him that much further in a major, but I'll take Griekspoor over Mannarino. Then I got Cerundolo versus Lehechka. That's a good one, but I'll take Cerundolo. I think he's running on good momentum. He had a title going into the French Open, and he got to, I believe, the fourth round, lost a very tight match to Holger Rune. And he beat Fritz, so I'll take him over Lehechka. I like his momentum right now. Rounge versus Paul. I'll take Paul. What else we got? Let's see. So let's finish out this. Let's finish this out. I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit too. But Paul versus Cerundolo. I'll take Paul. I like how Paul's playing right now. And this is a ridiculous pick from me. I should not pick this, and I'll tell you why. Tommy Paul has lost his 3 grass events. His, I believe his first one to Struff. I believe his last 2 to Francisco Cerundolo. Struff isn't playing. If Cerundolo doesn't beat Paul, Tommy Paul might win Wimbledon. Tommy Paul is only losing to Francisco Cerundolo. So Paul doesn't have a good draw. He plays Cerundolo in the 3rd round. I don't know why, but I loved how Paul played at Wimbledon last year specifically. People say surfaces. I take tournaments into account. People play different at different tournaments. I like how Paul played at Wimbledon. He was one of 2 players to not drop a set going into the 4th round at Wimbledon last year. And I don't know. Paul's going to want revenge. So I'm going to take Paul over Cerundolo. I'll take Paul over Cerundolo. And also, even though Cerundolo just took a title, and even though he beat Paul twice, I'm not as confident in Cerundolo on grass. And I think Paul is still playing into his grass court form. He looked fantastic last week. So I'll take Paul. I like Tommy Paul on the grass courts. I'm looking for a big run from him. I shouldn't pick him, but I am. Okay, next section. Or let's see what I want to do. Oh yeah, pick out the quarterfinals. Okay, so we got that section. Oh yeah, Paul versus Griekspoor. I'll take Tommy Paul. I'll take Tommy Paul to the quarterfinals over Talon Griekspoor. It was, of course, Medvedev beaten by Mannarino, and then Griekspoor beating Mannarino. That was the top 8 seed. Medvedev, who's supposed to get there, but I'll take Tommy Paul. Paul over Griekspoor. I really liked how Tommy Paul looked last week. So high levels. Winners to unforced errors was ridiculous. If he can get past Cerundolo, listen. I don't like Medvedev getting through that, and I really like Tommy Paul right now and on the grass courts. I'll take him. Eubanks versus Norrie. Now that is interesting. Eubanks versus Norrie. I haven't given a single thought to this one, and it might take me like 10 minutes to decide who I think gets through this one. I'm gonna look at one thing. I'm gonna look at Norrie's recent results before I say my final piece. I know it's already been like a half-hour video. Gonna try to speed this up a little bit. Stay with me. I'm gonna speed it up. But Norrie versus Eubanks. Eubanks is my guy. I've been excited about Eubanks. Norrie's only played 1 grass event. He didn't look particularly good in that grass event. He hasn't looked particularly good recently, period. You know what? I'm going to go Eubanks. I think Eubanks continues on the form, the confidence. I'll take Eubanks with the upset over 12-seed Norrie. Norrie reached semifinals last year, but listen. No, I haven't really liked Norrie much this year since I think Rio. I don't remember a good result he's had since then. He had a weird loss in Indian Wells. Since then, it's been downhill. So, O'Connell versus Korda. I'll take Korda. What else we got? Shelton versus Cressy. That's fun. Cressy has been on a terrible losing streak, though. I'm going to go with Ben Shelton. Cressy's been on a losing streak, but I think that could be interesting. I think Cressy could pick it up a little bit. He picked it up a little bit in the last event, but yeah. Cressy's still out of it, hitting so many double faults. I'll take Shelton. Okay, Murray versus Tsitsipas. I'm taking Murray. I'm taking Murray over for the upset over Tsitsipas. He beat Tsitsipas on grass last year. And listen, Murray, he won a grass challenger, or a couple of them. I think a couple of grass challenger tournaments. He was tired for Queens, but listen, I think Murray's going to play well at Wimbledon. He was just training with Djokovic. He's going to have a great training going in. It's not, maybe in the later rounds he's going to struggle more, but Tsitsipas is not looking great, and I like Murray against Tsitsipas. Murray's just so solid, and we already know that. Okay, let's finish this out. Eubanks versus Korda. I'll take Sebastian Korda. Eubanks has had a great run, but it's going to be tough for him to win, 7-8 straight matches. I'm going to take Sebastian Korda, who I do like right now. Shelton versus Murray. I want to say Murray, and I'm going to say Murray. I'll say Murray. Why not? Murray lost to a big server, though, last year at Wimbledon, which is why I'm a little bit hesitant. And he can play a little bit passive. But Shelton has been up and down. It would be great for Shelton to win 2 matches. He's not used to playing Grand Slams yet. I'll take Murray. I'll take Murray to the 4th round. It's what I want to see, and it will hurt me not to choose him. But also, I'm not super high on Shelton right now either. I'll take Murray. I'll take Murray to the, 4th round? Okay, I'll take Korda over Murray. And then, is that quarterfinals? Who'd I have? Oh, yeah, Tsitsipas out? Okay, that is a super wide open section, by the way. Okay, Korda versus Paul. 2 Americans. That's my quarterfinals. It's definitely going to be wrong, but that's what I'm choosing. Okay, bottom half. Let's speed it up. Don't want this to be an hour and a half, 2 hour, 3 hour video. Hope you guys are enjoying it, though. But I'm going to speed it up here. Sinner versus Juan Manuel Cirindalo. Sinner beats him. Cirindalo is a clay quarter and outside the top 100. Kecmanovic versus Schwartzman. I got Kecmanovic. Vukic versus Altmaier. I'll take Altmaier. Hallis versus Evans. Evans has had a bad season. Hallis could do good things on grass. With a big serve, big game. I'll take Hallis also. He's had a great season. Nishioka versus Galan. I'll take Nishioka, but I don't love him on grass courts, to be honest. But he can do well. He's okay. Kiefer versus Ate. I like Ate at Wimbledon. I'll take Ate. Mikael Ymer, who I like a lot too, versus Molchan, another one of my favorite lower tier players. 2 of my favorites from the lower tiers going at it. If I could just real quickly look up what Ymer's results have been recently, that could give me the best idea. Ooh, Mikael Ymer just made a quarterfinal at Eastbourne. Lost to Nakashima and Halle. Grieksborn, Netherlands. But listen, those are tough guys, and he lost to both of them in very tight matches. I'm going to take Ymer. I'll take Mikael Ymer. Molchan has been super up and down, even though I do like Molchan. I think he'll win a couple of titles. I think he'll do great things in the future. Big talent. Good mentality at times, too, but not for this. Fritz versus Hoffman. That's a match I'm going to be commentating tomorrow. I'm super excited to see what that looks like. But I'll take Fritz. I'll take Fritz, but that's one to watch. A little bit of an upset alert. Hoffman beat Taylor over in, where was I? believe in Rome. So 6-4, 6-1 or something. Maybe it was Madrid. No, it must have been Rome after Zhang beat him in Madrid. But I'll take Fritz. I'll take Fritz. I think Hoffman sometimes his shots can fall a little bit short, which can do it against some guys, but not against top guys. And Fritz his aggression might be too much against him, and I think he'll be able to dictate. Borna Coric versus Peja. I got Borna Coric. Borna freaking Coric. Because Coric, I think he's looked good since, where was it? I think he reached semifinals at one of the clay events, Monte Carlo, Madrid. One of those tournaments he reached semis. He's looked good since then, so I'll take Coric. Bonzi's versus quarterfinal Mayotte. Either of those guys could get in. I'll take Bonzi. Mute versus Gasquet. I'll take Gasquet. Although Mute is crazy, he's fun to watch. Mute could win. Safulin versus Batista Agut. I'll take RBA for sure. I will take RBA for sure. I think that's the end of that little section there. Oh, okay, I actually passed those with Fritz. Okay, let's finish this section out. Sinner versus Kecmanovic. That's a tough one. That could be dangerous for Sinner, but Sinner should win. I think he can hit Kecmanovic off the court, even though Kecmanovic is dangerous. Talented, he has a lot of skills, but Sinner's power might be too much for Kecmanovic's great skills. Kecmanovic, though, he's one to watch on all 3 surfaces. Miami last year, he was playing like a top 10 guy, so. And Indian Wells, too, by the way. He lost to both of the eventual champions, Indian Wells, Miami, last year. He can play it well, all 3 surfaces. Altmaier versus Hallis. I'll take Hallis, the big serve. Sinner avoids another nightmare 5.5 hour match. Doesn't get to play Altmaier. Sinner versus Hallis. Could be tough, but I'll take Sinner. Sinner, a few tough matches, but honestly a really good draw up until this point. Nishioka or Ate. Ate's been a little bit up and down, but he qualified in. Ate versus Nishioka. That's a bit tough, too. It's a bit tough. I'll take Ate. I like him at Wimbledon. He beat Murray a couple of years ago. Fritz versus Mikael Ymer. Could be tough, but I'll take Fritz. Fritz versus Ate. I'll take Fritz. Fritz versus Sinner. Okay, we got to talk about this one. This is one of my matches of the year going in. I had a Jannik Sinner player profile where I talk in depth about this match. You can check that out if you want on Quality Shot Tennis. Quality Shot Tennis, which you already know the name, but Fritz versus Sinner. They played an amazing underrated match in Indian Wells, and Sinner got the win. Sinner's power was too much, and on grass, I think that would just be accentuated. And I think Sinner, if he can get to the fourth round, I think his level will be good. He looked better in Halle if he's healthy. Then if he's healthy, then I think he's got it, and I think he will be for the most part. And I think he'll be able to dictate. And Fritz might have it on serve, but I'll take Sinner. I'll take Sinner for the win in that one, but the serve might play a big part. Sinner will have to do at least decent on serve in that one, but I'll take Sinner. I'll take Sinner, but that's a big match to watch for me. Okay, Sinner to the quarterfinals. All right, next section. I'll hurry this up. Shapovalov versus Alba. I'll take Shapovalov. Harris versus Barrera. I'll take Barrera. I think Barrera's got it. I like how Barrera played last week. Harris also played well last week. I think both reached the semifinals of their tournaments. Lestion versus Brody. I'll take Brody. Lestion, kind of fun, flashy player. The Ruud versus Lecoli. I'll take Ruud, but I don't think Ruud is making very far. Chorich versus Bonzi. I'll take Chorich. Gasquet versus Batista Agut. That's fun. Ooh, that's fun. I'll go for a sneaky Gasquet win. Gasquet's played at Wimbledon many times. And so has Batista Agut, but gut feeling Gasquet. Batista Agut, former semifinalist. But other than that semifinal appearance, he hasn't done great at Wimbledon. So Gasquet's had a few good performances at Wimbledon. I'll take Gasquet. Shapovalov versus Barrera. Screw it, I'll take Barrera. I like Barrera right now. And Shapovalov's been really up and down. I don't think Shapovalov might underestimate Barrera, but he's playing really well, Barrera. Brody versus Ruud. I'll take Ruud. Ruud's hitting the forehand big right now, too. He hasn't trained much, but I think he'll figure it out a little bit. Am I taking Ruud? I wish I picked Shapo so that I would feel better about this. Ruud versus Barrera. I don't know. Maybe Ruud sneaks over to the fourth round. I didn't think I'd pick Ruud all the way to the fourth round, which he's the RG finalist. Chorich versus Gasquet. I'll take Chorich. What am I doing here? This is wide open, this section. What am I doing here? What if Chorich's results been like? That's a big thing, too. Borna Chorich's results. What has Chorich's results been like? Lost to Bublik and Halle. Lost to McDonald in the Netherlands. Third round of RG. Lost to Echeverry, was playing very well. Quarterfinal of Italian Open. Semifinal Madrid. So Chorich has been in good form. I don't hate it. What was his grass? McDonald, Bublik. But he lost pretty badly to both guys. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that. You know what? Gasquet beats Chorich. And Gasquet beats Ruud. Screw it. I'll take Gasquet. I'm taking Gasquet to the fourth round. Gasquet with the sneak run to the fourth round. And I'll take Sinner over Gasquet for sure. I think he's beaten him a couple of times this year. Rublev versus Purcell. I'll take Rublev. Van Osh versus next action now, by the way. Van Osh versus Karatsev. I'll take Karatsev. Van Osh not that experienced on grass courts. Karatsev's clean ball striking should do well. Baez versus Barrios Vera. Wow. That's pretty wide open. Don't know about that. I don't know who this is. Barrios Vera. If I'm pronouncing that correctly at all. Barrios Vera, Argentine, I believe. Or no, Chilean player. Okay, beat Hijikata, Sabath Wild, Donskoy, some pretty good wins in the qualifying. Okay, I'll take him over Baez. Had to look up who he'd be in qualifying because I'm really not sure about Baez right now on the grass courts. Coming off a heartbreaker against Bonfils. Goffin versus a lucky loser, probably Marajan, who beat Alcaraz in Rome. But I'll take Goffin. Everybody forgets, okay? People forget. David Goffin. Well, first of all, he's an ATP Finals finalist. But second of all, he nearly made the semifinals of Wimbledon last year. It didn't have points. It wouldn't have counted for much. But listen, well, it would have counted for a Wimbledon semifinal. He was mere points away against Cameron Norrie. He was up 5-4, I think, like 3 points away. He was so close to getting to the semifinals. They played like a Fritz Nadal kind of close type match in the quarters. There were so many close quarterfinals at Wimbledon last year. That was one of them. So anyway, shout out Goffin. I think he'll beat Marajan. Bublik versus Mackie McDonald. I got Bublik. I like how Bublik's playing right now, but that could be tough. I think McDonald's going to be more tough for Bublik than I think people think. JJ Wolf, loved how JJ played last week. He's new to grass, but I think he's going to be super tough. His slice serve is actually surprisingly effective, and he's a big hitter sometimes. Talented, skillful player. Can be aggressive too. Martyrer versus Goho. I'll take Martyrer. He's won a few matches already. Qualified in. Michael Moe versus Oj Aliassime. That's tough. That's tough for FAA. That could be dangerous, but I'll give Oj Aliassime the benefit of the doubt. I'll say Oj Aliassime. All right, let's see. And then Rublev Karatsev. I'll take Rublev, but Karatsev, you never know. Karatsev's dangerous. Once in a blue moon. He's like Sonego. Once in a blue moon, he just has a big win, a big run. Does Karatsev. And then Goffin versus Barrios Vera. I'll take Goffin. Bublik versus Wolf. That's tough. I got to go Bublik. I think Bublik's playing well right now. I think Bublik's playing well. Well, do I want to say that? JJ Wolf played pretty well at a slam earlier this year. My gut feeling instinctively is Wolf. What has okay, I gotta look this up. Sorry, I'm looking so many things up. I gotta look up Bublik's past results. That single-handedly is gonna decide this for me. Past results in majors, because you would know if you saw him play Paul last week. He played amazing, and this was just last week. I know Bublik's coming off a title, but listen, that match was incredible. It was incredible. What has he done at Wimbledon? Third round. Okay. It's not bad. How did he do? Let me see specifically. Who we played in the third round? Lost to Tiafoe. Okay, yeah, I think mentioned earlier. Beat Fucsovics. Okay, yeah, Bublik plays well. Beat Fucsovics like 6-1, 6-2, 6-4. Okay, I'll take Bublik over Wolf. Then Oj Aliassime. Okay, Rublev or Goffin. I'll take Rublev. I want Rublev to reach a semifinal, but that's going to be tough with his draw. Okay, and then Bublik versus Oj Aliassime. I'll take Bublik. And then next section. This is the last section. We're in the last section, guys. We're in the last section. Musetti versus Varias, and then we'll get to the quarterfinal. Oh, I forgot to pick Rublev or Bublik. Ooh, that could be tough. But I'm gonna go Rublev. I'm gonna go Rublev for that one. Bublik's good, but he's not somebody who's yet to have an amazing deep run at a major to the quarters. So I'm gonna go with Bublik. Bublik with that in that one. Or sorry, I'm going to go Rublev in that one, not Bublik. I'm going Rublev in that one. Okay. Yeah, Bublik's only reached 3 third rounds in his career at majors, never a 4th round. So I'll take Rublev. He's reached a lot of quarterfinals. So at least to a 4th round. Or to a quarterfinal. Okay, Musetti versus Varias. I'll take Musetti. I like how he's playing on grass. Isner versus Munar. I like Munar a lot. As you would know if you've seen a couple of videos on this channel, I've talked about him, but I think Isner is the better player on grass, even though he hasn't been in great form. Lajovic versus Choinski. Wild card, I'll take Lajovic, but I don't think he's going very far. Hurkacz, Ramos, Vinales. Hurkacz has a very good draw. I'll take Hurkacz. Echeverry versus Zapata Marias. I'll take Echeverry, but also don't think he's going very far. Played great at RG, but grass courts is a little bit different. Ruusuvuori versus Wawrinka. That's tough. I'm going to say Ruusuvuori. Ruusuvuori beats Sinner. He's been playing great. I think Ruusuvuori beats Wawrinka, but listen, I won't be surprised if it's not that. I won't be surprised if Wawrinka gets the win, not at all. Jordan Thompson versus Nakashima. That is a match that has 4 or 5 sets written all over it. Jordan Thompson's going to have the serve. Nakashima's going to be super solid. But also, Nakashima lost a tight match last week, though. So, I don't know. Thompson's been playing well. I'll take Thompson. Then Djokovic versus Kachin. I'll take, or Kachin. Don't know how to pronounce that, to be honest. Got to learn that. I'll be commentating that match tomorrow. We'll look that up. But I'll take Djokovic. I'm not going with a hot take of a lifetime there. Musetti versus Isner. I'll take Musetti in much better form. Lajovic or Hurkacz. Definitely Hurkacz. Echeverry or Ruusuvuori. Definitely Ruusuvuori. For the upset, Thompson versus Djokovic. I got to go Djokovic, but I don't think Thompson's going to be super easy. Thompson's been playing well. He's a little bit fearless. He can do an upset, but I'll take Djokovic for no question about it. Straight sets. Musetti versus Hurkacz. I'll take Hurkacz. I think Hurkacz will pick it up a little bit here. Ruusuvuori versus Djokovic. Another match that could be tough, but listen, Djokovic has a great draw. I'll take Djokovic. And then Djokovic, Hurkacz. I think Hurkacz is one of Djokovic's biggest threats. Much bigger threat than Rublev in the quarters. If Hurkacz plays his best sets, he pushed him to tight 4 sets at Wimbledon. He pushed him to a 3rd set tiebreaker in Paris. In Paris, France. But on the fast indoor hard courts, but no, I mean, I got to go Djokovic, and Hurkacz hasn't been in great form either, even Miami, where he often plays just amazing. So I got Djokovic and Rublev. And guess what, guys? We made it. Quarterfinals. What happens from here? I don't know either. I didn't know going into the draw, and here, I'll just lay out the quarterfinals as I got them. Alcaraz, Tiafoe. Carlos Alcaraz, a Spaniard, taking on the American Francis Tiafoe, number 10, I believe 10 in the world, number 11 in the world. He keeps switching with Khachanov. I believe he's 10 in the world now. Number 10 seed. So I believe 10 in the world. Tommy Paul taking on Sebastian Korda, 2 Americans, who should have been his place, Tsitsipas and Medvedev, which would be a great match as well. And I kind of hope we get that one, but I'm going Paul and Korda. Sinner and okay, wait, no, hold up. Okay, no, it's right. I think it's right. Okay. So I accidentally pushed Gasquet over to the quarterfinal. So I accidentally already did the Sinner Gasquet pick, but I don't think anybody would have expected me to pick Gasquet over Sinner. But we have got Sinner and Gasquet in the quarterfinals. Gasquet with a surprise run, which I'm really questioning right now looking at it. I might redo. No, I'm going to keep it. Screw it. I'll keep it. Surprise run from Gasquet to the quarterfinals. He deserves it. Why not? It's going to be wrong, but I'll keep it. Gasquet, I believe it. Gasquet versus Sinner. I believe it. I believe in Gasquet. Gasquet versus Sinner quarterfinal. Rublev versus Djokovic. All right. Alcaraz versus Tiafoe. This could be a real test for Alcaraz. This could be a real test for Alcaraz. It was at the U.S. Open. Alcaraz still not the most solid on grass courts. He can get injured. Alcaraz can. He was coming in with a little bit of something. That is a tough one. Alcaraz versus Tiafoe. Tiafoe will probably have the better on serve. But Tiafoe's game, he has a lot of skills and tools like Alcaraz does as well. He has a big game. He can hit big. He was playing amazing, precise tennis. Solid top-tier tennis on the grass courts in, where was it I won? In Stuttgart to win the title there. And Alcaraz could have a few tough matches against, to start out the event before he even gets there. Before he gets to that match against Tiafoe. And Tiafoe is a bit fearless. I don't think Tiafoe played a match on grass since Stuttgart, right? Or no, he played Queens. He lost to Korda and Queens. That's something. He lost to Korda and Queens. That was a high-level match. I remember that one now. Am I going with the upset? I gotta go Alcaraz. I'm going Alcaraz. It was tempting me, but I'm going Alcaraz. I think Alcaraz has got it. He's a really top-tier player now. Tiafoe, he reached a semi at the U.S. Open, but this would be his first quarterfinal at Wimbledon. And I don't know. I'm more comfortable picking Alcaraz. I like how he looked in Queens. Korda or Paul. People aren't going to like my pick here. I'm going. All right. Am I picking Paul for the semis? No. Tommy Paul reached the semifinal already earlier this season. And I'm going into Wimbledon with confidence for Paul, but I don't know. Paul had a great chance at Wimbledon last year that he didn't really take at all. Korda's been playing great. I don't know. Have they played before, Korda versus Paul? Just to look up real quick. What's their head-to-head? Sebastian Korda versus Paul. Korda won the cleanest ball strikers on the tour. Tommy Paul, just, super athlete, like I mentioned earlier. Let's see. Try to pull this up. Korda versus Paul. Korda's 3-1 versus Paul. Okay, I think that decides it for me. But they've played a lot of tight matches, but yeah. I don't know. Paul won their last one at the U.S. Open, though. The one time they played at a major. And that's interesting. But I gotta go with Sebastian Korda. I'm going Korda over Paul. But good run from Paul anyway to the quarters. If my thing comes out, it'll be Korda Alcaraz, which I've seen some people pick as well. Sinner over Gasquet. I don't really think I need to explain that one. If Sinner is healthy enough, if he has the form to get to the quarters, beat Fritz, beat all those guys, then he should have enough against Gasquet in my strange hypothetical. But I think Sinner would beat Ruud. I think Sinner would beat Coric. I think Sinner would beat RBA, although RBA, if he plays well enough to get to the quarterfinals, could be tough. But Sinner's power also will be a lot for RBA. I don't know. I'll take Sinner. I'll take Sinner for sure to the semifinals. But Fritz, I think the fourth round will be more tough than the quarterfinals. And then Djokovic versus Andre. Djokovic versus Andre Rublev. Novak versus Andre. What do I have in this one? Djokovic. I want Rublev to make a semifinal, but listen, I got Djokovic. All right, we got the semifinals. Alcaraz, Korda, and Sinner Djokovic. And Alcaraz versus Korda, I got Alcaraz in 4 sets. First time I'm thinking about the match, but I have my result right away. If Alcaraz is good enough to get to the semis, I like Alcaraz against Korda. I think he'll do well against Korda. And I like him on grass courts. He just looked a very high level at Queens last year. I think he can reach a final. I think Alcaraz can get to a final. But Tiafoe and Rune will be tough, and so will Korda if he gets there, or Paul, or a lot of different guys. Alcaraz will have a lot of trouble, but I'm gonna go with Alcaraz, and I have a good feeling about Alcaraz going into Wimbledon. We'll see if that feeling comes true. But Korda, great job to reach a first major semifinal. Alcaraz has already been in that position, and twice, and I take Alcaraz. Sinner versus Djokovic. I'll take Djokovic in a tight 3 sets. I don't think it will be as tight as last year. I think Djokovic picks it up late stages. Sinner's not coming in with great momentum. Will be good enough for him to reach a semifinal. Djokovic is so good at Wimbledon, and I don't know. Sinner, I don't know if he's going to have the thing like, oh, I got so close last year, I'll go the next step this time. I feel like it might be more so like the mental baggage of knowing he got so close, and even if he gets a lead, it might not be enough. And Sinner doesn't really have the confidence. I'm taking Djokovic, who has all the confidence in the entire world. Djokovic versus Alcaraz, and you already know which way I'm going. I don't think I have to say it. Djokovic versus Alcaraz, and I'm taking Djokovic in 4 sets. I'll say Alcaraz grabs 1 set in maybe 7-5, 7-6, but Djokovic wins the other sets pretty comfortably. And I almost said 3 sets, but I'll definitely go 4 sets, because Djokovic might be a little bit tired by this point, or something else, something or another. His last 2 Wimbledon finals went 4 sets. Alcaraz, if he's playing good enough to get to a final, he'll be playing very high level. And Alcaraz is very good, well in finals too, very, very well in finals. I think 8-3, or I think 11-3 in finals now, which is absurd. Or maybe it's 8-3 in finals, one or the other. Anyway, he has an amazing record in finals. He won his first 5 ATP finals. But yeah, okay, so I'm taking Djokovic versus Alcaraz. Djokovic gets number 24, extends his lead on the men's side, gets 1 step closer to the calendar year Grand Slam, 1 step closer to being the first man with 25 majors. If you want to go all the way back, then without any doubt he has the most majors on the men's side. Ken Rosewall, if you include pro majors, also got 23. But listen, it's a different time. It's a different time. Not everybody could play those, and it's just a different time. Djokovic has the most, and he already has the record. This would just be him extending it, the outright men's slam singles titles record. This would be him extending the record, and 1 step closer to what he had in 2021. U.S. Open, though, always tough for Djokovic. But anyway, that was my breakdown of Wimbledon. I know I went like an hour here, but hope it was entertaining. I got matches to commentate tomorrow for Quality Shot Tennis. Gonna do that as well. But I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of the draw. I don't know why I picked Ricky Gasquet into the quarterfinals, but that section's insane. I picked some other weird choices. I don't know, but you gotta go weird sometimes. I picked Watanuki over Zverev. Lucky loser Watanuki, but Watanuki, if you saw the match versus Tiafoe, you already know. But don't forget to like and sub. This has been Anthony Hirsch. Tennis Commentary Booth with Anthony Hirsch. Don't forget to like and sub. I'm at Tennis Commentary Booth on Instagram. I'm at Commentary Booth on Twitter. Tennis Commentary Booth with Anthony Hirsch, the place to be. I'll be posting more stuff. Super excited. And check out Quality Shot Tennis. Quality Shot Tennis, huge channel. I've been a fan of them for a while. All the people over there are great. And just really appreciate the opportunity. But yeah, I'll be doing streams over there. Definitely check it out. And I'll be posting more on here. But I got Djokovic for number 24. And I am excited for Wimbledon. Right around the corner. Grass courts. Let's see. Can anybody step up? Hurkacz in the 4th round. Auger Aliassime. Can one of those guys like Tsitsipas, Medvedev, Zverev really pick it up and play great on grass? Alcaraz. Or will it be a guy like Sinner or Fritz? Who will it be? Or will it be some random? Will it be some random guy that you would never think of? Jordan Thompson. Will it be some absolutely random guy? Seems unlikely. And Djokovic has a good draw, but a Grand Slam is a Grand Slam. And it's not over till it's over. But Djokovic has tried to change that sentiment as much as anybody else in tennis history. Because he looks like he has the match. He has the tournament from any position. He's just so effective and so good. And on grass court, I think he'll tie Federer for Wimbledon's. Even if he wins this Wimbledon, I think that Djokovic is the greatest player of all time. I do. I think now he is the greatest tennis player of all time, but I still think Federer is the greatest grass court player of all time. And I'd like to see how Djokovic plays at this Wimbledon. Obviously, if he wins every match in a triple bagel or something, plays absolutely crazy, then maybe I'll change my mind. But I think that Federer is still the greatest with the competition he had on grass courts, how few sets he was losing at a time. The competition in recent years, in my opinion, has been relatively weaker for Djokovic at Wimbledon. But still, I mean, Djokovic just unbelievable on grass courts and always finds a way. And Djokovic always finds a way, and that's why I have him lifting number 24, and Djokovic is so good. Djokovic for the title, that's my pick here. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll see you at the next one. Wimbledon coming up. Make sure to like and sub for Quality Shot Tennis. Turn on notifications. I'll be doing lots of streams for them. Don't forget to like and sub here. I will see you guys at the next one. Wimbledon on the horizon. Grass court season is here, and you know we love the grass. We love the grass courts. Difficult surface, but fun as ever. See you at the next video.